of the world, now I'm living. And the good just gets better, keeps it giving. Not even close to the end, it's just beginning. Life is getting lighter while the days are getting brighter, yeah.
Hi, it's Ann Perry, and today's topic of discussion is life path number 4. Are you wearing a victim t-shirt? Oh, this is going to be a tough one, because I don't want you to think for 1 minute I'm picking on the 4 life path number. Anybody who knows me well knows I'm all about empowerment. I'm all about giving you the education and the tools with which to overcome your limitations. But you know what? I've got to let you in on a little secret. Every morning when I wake up, after I have slammed my alarm clock 2 or 3 times on the snooze button, because, girls got to do that, I reach for my phone. And why am I reaching for my phone? Because I want to see who responded to my videos. Okay, I love getting your testimonials. I love getting your questions. I love interacting with you. It just keeps me pumped up. I feel like search and rescue sometimes. It's like you guys are a little bit lost, so you come on YouTube and you find a numerologist who talks about something that's of interest to you, and I kind of help you find your way. Because I'm the one that provides you with the roadmap that you wrote for yourselves before you got here, but you've forgotten what it is. So I'm your interpreter, if you will. So it really gets me charged up and really excited when I can know that I'm making a difference. I'm connecting the dots for you guys, and I'm helping you to figure out what your life's purpose is and the direction you're supposed to be going. But this morning I got a message from a YouTube subscriber, and it was, well, I've got a really tough life path number, and I've got a karmic debt, and my life is just very, very difficult. And I'm like, okay, you know what, guys? As you believe, so it is, right? And it pissed me off. I got to tell you, it pissed me off. And I'm like, why am I getting so annoyed with this? And I realized, I realized that I was that girl. I was that girl until I was about 37. I'm 57 now. And for 37 years, I dragged around the pity party bag. I had all the knives, the forks, the napkins, and the matching china, and all the plates and everything else to go with it. And I had my own little pity party for about 37 years. And the reality of it is I really didn't have a whole lot to feel sorry about, but I was the girl who was quite insecure, and so I found a way to blame everybody else for my shortcomings. And so I wore the victim t-shirt. And what has occurred to me over the years as I've studied numerology and personal development and such, I'm realizing that the 4, the life path number of the 4, they seem to have the most difficulty with the victim t-shirt. Okay, they like to wear it in all different colors and different styles and whatnot, but they like to wear that victim t-shirt. So again, I'm not trying to pick on those of you who have a life path number of 4. I'm trying to educate and inform so that you can catch yourself before you fall into the traps. Because you know what? It doesn't matter what your life path number is. There is a positive side and there's a negative side to every single life path number. But today, I'm jumping ahead of the game because I wasn't going to publish this video until March of 2017. But I just felt so inspired because I had made some real connections to my own self, and the fact that this message really annoyed me, I thought, you know what, it's worthy of sharing. So I hope you'll bear with me, and I hope you'll learn something, and that you'll stick with me through the video, and we can all learn something together. Okay, so this is where I found it really, really cool. As soon as I hear people dragging around that pity party bag and they're opening it up and starting to uncork the champagne, I start going, okay, victim, victim, victim. Oh my God, I cannot stand a victim. It makes me nuts. It's so disempowering, and it just sucks the life right out of you. And so I thought, let me crunch the numbers around the word victim, and I was surprised to see that the actual word victim actually equates to the energy of 4. Okay, now the 4s tend to focus a lot on what they don't have rather than what they do have. So they have this half-empty cup mentality quite often. They also have all kinds of other wonderful attributes, but right now we're talking about the lessons. So when we look at the word victim here, we break down each letter individually. So the V resonates at the value of a 4, and the I is a 9, C is a 3, T is a 2, I is a 9, and the M is a 4, and it equals 31. So 3 plus 1 equals 4. So I just found it interesting that the actual vibration of the word victim is about the 4. So let's go further to see what this means. Okay, so those on a 13-4 life path number or a 31-4 life path number are here to work through some very unique lessons. Now, before we go any further, if you don't know how to figure out what your life path number is, you can check out my video on YouTube. I'll put the link in there for you as well, so you can click on that. But it's all about how to calculate your life path number correctly. So take a look at that. And if you don't want to do that, you can go over to my website, and it's www.annperrynumerologist.com. And there is a link under resources that explains exactly how to figure out what your life path number is. So getting back to the energy of the 4. The 4s have issues around stability in their lives. When we think about the 4, and I'm saying it again, 4 posts into the ground creates a foundation. 4 posts in the ground creates something solid, okay? 3 posts in the ground and they're rocking, but 4 posts in the ground, solid oak trees, right? But they suffer when we have issues on the life path number 4. These are people who suffer with insecurities and a lot of self-doubt, self-criticism. They have a lot of issues with regards to confidence around their creative potential. So they need to work really hard to learn a way to channel their creative potential by using a step-by-step process to achieve their goals. Anytime I see the 4, it's all about slow and steady wins the race, one step in front of the other, and that creates a plan. Okay, so 4s, when they get up in the morning, they need to have a plan, because they just spiral around the drain if they don't have a plan. They need to get grounded and pull their heads out of the clouds, okay? Otherwise, they can be clouded by lofty dreams and illusions. So what I mean to say by that is that the 4s need to be practical, they need to be responsible, they need to be grounded. When they're working to the negative side of that, they tend to have their heads up here in the clouds and thinking about all these different crazy ideas and wonderful things they can do, but they don't really put it to practical form, okay? And that's what gets them into trouble, because they really do want to accomplish something. They're hugely, highly creative, but when your mind is too much up here in the clouds, it's hard to get anything, any work done down here. So those with the 4 life path number need to develop secure foundations so that they too can feel secure. A lot of 4s come from backgrounds where their home lives weren't exactly secure. They might have been under the guidance of somebody who was really rough to be around, okay? A little challenging, maybe a little abusive, verbally, mentally, spiritually, on whatever level, but they tend to sometimes come from a foundation that wasn't so solid. And so in this they've come to learn how to create a solid foundation. So it comes back to having chosen our parents, the theory that we've chosen our parents. And a lot of people look at me like I have 3 heads. I did what? My father was abusive, my mother was an alcoholic, or whatever, whatever the dysfunction was that was going on. But it's really not about the experience, it's about what could you learn from that. So if you weren't living in a healthy environment, a healthy, stable environment, you need to learn how to do that. You need to say, okay, well, this didn't work for me, therefore I'm going to do that. Not having any curfews or boundaries caused me a lot of grief, because I was kind of spiraling around that drain again, and I didn't have to be accountable, but I wanted to be. So in my life with my kids, I'm going to create accountability, and I'm going to have curfews and boundaries and guidelines to live by. They need to check their oversized egos at the door, which typically have been inflated due to the fact that they're trying to hide their insecurities. So, it's like the mother bear. You go out into the woods and you come across Mama Bear. And Mama Bear's got all her baby cubs around her. So what does she do? Well, most people say, well, she looks scared. Or she looks angry. She comes up and she looks really angry. And I'm like, okay, so what's she feeling? Well, she's feeling really angry because you might hurt her cubs. What's she feeling? What is she feeling? Why does she get up big and ugly like this at you? Oh, because she's scared. I'm like, right, exactly, because she's scared, right? Whenever you see people getting up big and ugly and big, huge egos walking into the room, it's because they're scared, right? They want to be bigger than life because they don't want you tromping on them. They don't want you discovering that they're not as big as what you think they are, right? So what they do is they create these huge overinflated egos and throw themselves around to make them look so smart. And sometimes the 4s can come across a little bit self-righteous, a little inflexible. I'm the boss, that's the way it is. Right or wrong, doesn't matter. It's my way or the highway kind of thing. They can come off a little bit hard ass. But mostly it's because they feel really insecure, and that's the only way they know how to overcompensate for that. Okay, so the common characteristics of the 4 energy is that they thrive on routines, and they love plans, and they love process, and they can be super responsible. They've got huge commitment to the family. Again, it's 4 posts in the ground, it's the white picket fence, it's that 1.5 kids and 2 dogs in the yard. They're all about that. Very, very strong work ethic. They're never late for anything. They're always on time. Life is either black or white for them. They just see the rightness or the wrongness in whatever it is they're looking at. So sometimes they can be a little inflexible because they can't really see all sides to the story sometimes. So it's either right or it's wrong. They can appear somewhat arrogant as they hide their insecurities. We just talked about that. And they're often very, very creative, but they doubt it, right? They hold a lot of doubt about their creative potential. They often focus too much on their perceived limitations. And this is where the whole victim mentality comes from. Oh my goodness. I could go on and on and on. Anything you give your energy, attention, and focus to is going to get bigger. But unfortunately, the fours, they tend to focus a little bit too much on what they don't have. I don't have time. I don't have money. I don't have education. I don't have the support. And that's why I didn't do very well in that project. And that's why I didn't get that job. And that's why they laid me off, is because, it was somebody else's fault. They have a hard time owning their stuff, right? They really want to be solid. They want to be grounded. They want to be practical and responsible and all these things. But you know what? Life throws curveballs sometimes, and it's how we respond to them that defines who we are. And basically, as we believe, so it is. So if you believe that you're a victim, well, I guess you're a victim, right? But you can make a different choice. So over here on the right, you're seeing the quote from Oprah Winfrey that says, "You are responsible for your life. You can't keep blaming somebody else for your dysfunctional life, because life is really about moving on." Okay, it's about learning the lessons. It's about being grateful for the lessons. It's about being grateful for that asshole that you're working for, who comes across like this big pig-headed butthead, who's really in your face, right? Now, so instead of going, "Oh my God, I can't do well in my job because I've got this idiot," stop and think for a second. What's he teaching you? Maybe he's teaching you that you don't need to be working there. You're much better than that. You need to be working somewhere else. And for that, you need to thank him, right? Maybe he's teaching you self-respect. If you're choosing to be disrespected and to be the victim, well, you just gave him all your power. And if that's what you want to continue to do, I'd like to see how far you're going to make it in your life, because it's really hard to go on no steam, right? We need the power. We need to maintain our power so we can go on our own power to move forward in our lives. So fours tend to focus a little bit too much on their limitations, and they end up feeling very stuck in their lives, and they tend to point the finger at everybody else, and they play that blame game while wearing that victim t-shirt. So let's take a look at how is the 13-4 different from a 31-4. Okay, so if your life path number added up to, your date of birth added up to 13, it's different than if it added up to 31 in terms of its emphasis on the lessons, and I'll show you how that works. The lessons that relating to how you approach your life path are to the left of the slash. Okay, so here we have the 13-4, and we have the 31-4. So we have a 4 life path and we have a 4 life path. And you might say, well, what's the difference? 13, 31, same thing. Very similar, but the emphasis is of your largest challenge is always going to be right to the left of the slash. Okay, so in this particular case, in the 13-4, the biggest emphasis is here on the 3, a lesser emphasis on the 1. Over here, the emphasis is more on the 1 than it is on the 3, okay? So with regards to the 13-4, where the 3 sits closest to the slash, it emphasizes a big need for self-expression. These are people who really need to be able to find some way to express themselves. Maybe it's through artwork, maybe it's through writing or blogging or singing or music or whatever, but they have a real need to be able to express themselves, and they have difficulty doing that. It also brings in a challenge around focus, because the 3 energy is not particularly focused, and the 4s do best when they're focused. So of the two, the 13-4 versus the 31-4, somebody with a 13-4 life path number is somebody who's going to really struggle with focus more so than the 31-4. The 1 energy over here suggests a need to develop confidence with your creative potential so that you can confidently express yourself. Okay, so this is about, right here, this is developing confidence, and this is creative expression. So it's developing confidence around your creative expression to develop a good foundation in your life. That could be a business, it could be a home, it could be a relationship, it could be anything you deem as a foundation for yourself. Lessons of the 31-4. So where the 1 sits closest to the slash over here, it emphasizes a greater need for creative potential than it does for this guy over here, right? Because he's about creative expression. This guy, he's about self-expression, and this guy over here is about creative expression. and getting more confident with his creative potential. Over here, he has a lesser need for his creative potential. Okay. With regards to the expression, with the expressing themselves, the creative expression over here. Okay. So this is about developing confidence in your creative potential. And this is all about self-expression. So he has a lesser need to express himself than, say, this person does who has the 3 sitting closest to the slash. I hope that came across well because I got myself a little bit confused about that. Maybe I have focus issues. Moving right along. Okay, so how to make the 13-4 or the 31-4 life path number work for you, because that's what it's all about. This is not to be picking on you guys who are 4s. This is all about showing you where your limitations can lie and how to overcome it. Okay, so committing yourself to a persistent and consistent action plan, which includes the gradual process necessary to ensure that you deliver the highest level of creativity and self-expression possible. The world is counting on you to do this. That is what you set forth. That is what you agreed to do. That's what you signed up for in your soul's contract. So it's all about consistent effort. It's all about being persistent, not giving up, recognizing that everything you need to do should have a plan. You should be accountable to that plan. Maybe a day timer would help. Maybe some kind of a spreadsheet of some kind that tracks your progress, that sort of thing. It's very important for you. Create a stable base for yourself. So if you didn't come from a stable home environment, you want to create a more stable home environment for you in your own adult life. And so you want to develop some plans and strategies that are going to assist you. So maybe that's developing a savings account, some sort of a savings plan. Maybe it is taking a course and working through it. Anything you can do to create a strategy or a plan in your life makes you feel secure. You have a real need to feel secure. You have a real need to know what's going on and to know what your goals are. So setting goals is very important for you, but sometimes, particularly for those who are on 13-4, they have a hard time meeting their goals because their focus isn't always the best. So it's developing focus. Let go of the victim mentality. Stop blaming people just because you don't have really good focus, just because you're not able to express yourself the way that you'd like. Maybe you're not as confident with your creative potential as you'd like to be. It gives you no reason to be blaming other people. Okay? Stop playing the blame game, because you know what? It doesn't get you anywhere. So what? You blame somebody else. So what does that do? Does it help you to move forward into your potential? Nope. You're still stuck. Okay? So you're still a victim, and basically you're being a victim of your own demise. So own it. Own it. The choices that we make determine our destiny. As we believe, so it is, and we do create our own reality every single day. How you think is your reality, okay? And the only person who can control how you think is you, okay? So if you don't like your reality, change how you think. It's really quite simple. Just change how you think, change your perspective. Focus on what you have rather than what you don't have. If I gave you, and I talk about this a lot in my videos, I'm going to talk about it again. If I give you 12 bricks and I say, okay, I want you to go over there and start building a foundation for your new house, if you're inclined to look at that and go, okay, Ann, but 12 bricks is not going to help me build a foundation. I can't build a foundation out of 12 bricks. I'm like, oh, really? So you're going to focus on how many bricks you don't have? Let me know how that works out for you. So if you focus on those 12 bricks and go, wow, this is great. This is 12 more bricks than what I had before. I'm going to get to work, right? Guess what? Your attitude is different. You change your perspective a little bit, and all of a sudden you start building. And anything we give our attention, energy, and focus to will always get bigger. So if you want more of not enough, keep focusing on the fact you don't have enough. If you want more of something to help you get moving forward, keep focusing on what you do have, because that'll help you. Learn how to express your emotions. That's really important. Those with the 4 life path number sometimes have difficulty expressing their emotions because they do have a need for perfectionism too. They have a need to be right. They have a need to have all the answers. And so sometimes it's scary for them to express themselves for fear of ridicule or judgment or being rejected. Develop patience when developing step-by-step processes. You guys need process. You need stability. You need to have goals set out for you, and you need to make them small so that they're attainable, so that you gain momentum and you start building on the reality that, hey, I can achieve things. I love my system with to-do lists. I have a to-do list everywhere in the house, right? And I'm checking it off as I go along. I feel really empowered at the end of the day when I go, wow, you know what? I might not have accomplished a whole lot, but what I said I was going to accomplish, I did, because I wouldn't put my head on the pillow until all the check marks were checked off, right? So that really helps. So in trying to embrace the challenges of the 4 life path number, I want you to ask yourself these questions. Do I allow self-doubt and insecurity to stand in the way of me getting ahead in my life? Remember, the 13 4s and the 31 4s are really good at picking themselves apart. They're really self-critical. They're really creative. They make great graphic artists and just artists in general. They are the builders, okay? The 4s are the builders and the managers, and they're all kinds of other things. But they do they do suffer from self-criticism to a large degree. And so, for example, if you're painting a picture and I come and I look at your picture and I go, oh my God, that's amazing. Look what you've done here. That's incredible. You might be inclined to look at that and go, yeah, you know what, it's okay, but yeah, I didn't quite get this right. Did you see where I really screwed up over here in the corner, right? It's just not enough to accept that, hey, you know what, maybe I did a good job. Do I follow a step-by-step process when trying to achieve my goals? And if not, why not? Why are you not doing that? Are you afraid of failure? Because that's a huge issue for people who have the 4 life path number. When have I stopped myself from discovering my creative potential? Can you think of times where you could have gone for it and you just chose not to? Well, when was that and why was that? Have I worked through my limiting behaviors? Am I able to stop pointing the finger at other people and recognize that I'm not perfect, but I'm doing the best I can, and I'm better today than what I was yesterday, right? How often do I complain about things so to cover up my insecurities? I could have done that, but you know what? So-and-so didn't show up for work on time, and then my day went sideways and blah, blah, blah. You know what? So what? So what? Sometimes you just need to own it. Sometimes you just need to take a look at that and go, you know what? I screwed up. I'm going to fix it, right? Because when you fix your flat tire, because your tire went flat, metaphorically, of course, what do? Before you can move forward, you got to fix the flat. So fix the flat. Stop pointing to somebody else who threw the nail on the highway. Fix the flat and get going, okay? Where do I see a benefit in holding on to my victim mentality? Oh my, you know what? Take a look at Facebook someday. I have some friends on Facebook that some days I just kind of want to unfollow. Because I don't care if your nose is running, and I don't care if you missed your bus and the bus driver's an idiot. And you know what? Facebook is such an amazing, amazing place, because you can, if you put your mind to it, you can choose to only post positive things. Think about that. You can only post, if we all chose to post only positive things, what an amazing, amazing place that would be. But instead, a lot of people, you know, oh, I cut my finger. So they take a picture of their finger and they put it on Facebook. And, oh, I couldn't get the job done today because I have a sore finger. I could go on and on. But you get the point, right? The victim mentality is just really, really difficult, not only for you, but for everybody else around you. It sucks the life out of everybody around you. And when you're crying, poor me, I'm sick, oh my gosh, I've got this, I got that, my life is just awful, I'm just, you know, the victim of all circumstances, people stop wanting to hang out with you, right? People will stop wanting to hang out with you. People might not always remember what you said, but they're always going to remember how you made them feel. And if you suck the life out of them because you're wearing that victim t-shirt, because you chose to put it on in the morning, guess what? I guess you're going to feel a little alone, because people will stop choosing to spend time with you. So again, you can choose your reality. And I just hope that you'll choose one that includes a positive outlook, and one that allows you to focus on everything that you're grateful for. Because that will bring you more, for sure. Okay, so I hope that I have conveyed enough that I'm not trying to pick on the 4s. I was a little riled up this morning about the comments that I got, and I thought, wow, why did that push my button? What was it about that comment that pushed my button? And I thought, well, you know what? My subscribers must need to hear my thoughts about the victim mentality and how it made me feel. And I just want you to be consciously aware of what it might be making you feel. You know, if you're taking on that role, how's it making you feel, and what's the benefit in it for you? Why do you keep doing that? Are you just trying to get attention? You know, again, I could go on and on, and I'm choosing not to. So I'd love to have you subscribe and follow me further. This is a video that I was supposed to be posting in March, which tells you there's a heck of a lot more videos yet to come before then. And I'm feeling really inspired to create them, so I really hope you'll join me. I hope that you'll like my Facebook page because I post something positive, inspiring, and educational on Facebook every single day. And check out my website. I've got a blog there that I post in occasionally. I have a newsletter that comes out occasionally. And there's all kinds of really good information there as well. So there's an opportunity. There's often a sale on my readings. And that's what I do professionally, or numerology readings. I'd love to have the opportunity to read for you someday. So check out the website. All the information is there. And I just want to say thanks so much. I really appreciate you following me and showing your passion for numerology and expressing an interest. And just connecting with me. So I'm hoping you're having a great day. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.